Seattle. Unbelievable. All right, let's see here. All right, what's going on, everybody? It's your good old boy JR coming to you live from Las Vegas, Nevada. As always, we are here, fifth episode of our journey to the 2023 NFL Draft. As always, I am joined by Brandon, a good friend of mine. He is ready. He is ready for this, man. He's ready for this. Talking about the Broncos today, but we will make the Seahawks selection. And I just want to point out something very clear, very clear. Well, two things. I want to point out two clears, and I'm speaking for myself. I'm going to speak for
Well,
myself before we
let's
start
see.
this show.
Let's see.
Um, I'm really disappointed in you, Denver. Really disappointed in you. For years now, for years, I've been saying that you guys had an amazing defense. They just need a consistent quarterback play, and you still managed to mess that up. Still managed to mess that up. Even with all the trades, you still managed to mess that up. And I want to apologize to every Seattle Seahawks fan out there. I want to apologize. Maybe not Seattle fans, but maybe just Pete Carroll in general. I think I called for his head the second they traded him. I said, man, if it really came down to it, you know, either the franchise has to either decide on Pete Carroll or Russell Wilson. You should just show Pete Carroll the freaking door right now and tell him, hey, man, enjoy early retirement, man. Go enjoy yourself. But, I want to apologize. It seems that was the very right, the smart thing to do, especially on how this season played out. So, yeah, that's how I want to start the show. I can admit my flaws. I can. And Seattle, the whole staff of Seattle, I'm sorry. There it is. That's how I want to start this show. And I'm disappointed in you, Denver.
Um, damn. Didn't see that coming. Didn't see that. Didn't see that coming. You were willing to die on that mountain. You were willing to die on that mountain. I completely got off that shit immediately after week one. I was like, yep, this shit is not working. I was like, this is a bad car. This is a lemon. This is a goddamn lemon. They really did turn into the Broncos. They really turned into a Broncos like a horse and a carriage, and they just could not they just could not speed the fuck up. It was bad. It was so bad immediately.
Just bad. Just bad all the way around, man. But that's how I wanted to start the show. I wanted to apologize to Pete Carroll specifically. I'm sorry. I couldn't own up to this. I thought, man, if Seattle has to make a choice on, who to cut ties with, Pete, I love you, man, but how many more years you really got? Apparently he's got enough. So that's how I want to start the show, by admitting my flaws, admitting my defeats. This is one of the most hurtful defeats of my life, and I'm sorry.
Yeah,
And I am sorry.
you were willing to die on that hill. I'm very proud of you that you have decided to say, you know what, I fucked up.
Yeah, that would be the nicest way of putting it, too. That would be the nicest way of putting it, in all honesty. That would be the nicest way. So, yeah, that's how I want to start out the show. But we'll get into Seattle later. Right now, we're going to talk about the Denver Broncos, because Seattle, they pick a little bit later. The reason that the Seahawks do make this pick, though, however, is with the trade of Russell Wilson. And, we got to get into it. I mean, I just want to dive headfirst into this debacle that was called the 2022 season of the Denver Broncos. That's what I want to get into it. So, Brandon, I don't know about you, man, but are you ready?
To talk about Denver?
Yep.
I guess so. This is going to be a fun episode.
Oh, man, here we go. So, the Denver Broncos, let's call facts. Let's just call it what it is. They were one of the favorites to, according to everybody, majority of people, to compete with the Kansas City Chiefs in this upcoming season. It went so south. Mexico was even like, damn. South America even looked at it and went like, damn. If there was another continent, that would be the Denver Broncos. There was a continent under South America, it would be called the Denver Broncos. That's how bad it went. That's how quickly it went for the Denver Broncos. They finished the season 5-12. It was just a lot. There was a lot going on. New coach, new everything. Same general manager, which forever. And I hope they hire his son, because building, calling the shots, drafting the players and everything, I will always be guaranteed as a Raider fan 2 wins a freaking year. All right, because that's I don't have to worry about that. I the last the Broncos beat us. Like it's not even in my vocabulary anymore. Like that's how bad it is. That's how this rivalry has gone. I don't remember the last time the Raiders lost to the Denver Broncos. I don't. I look at it. Denver Broncos had some time worried. I don't care. We're good. And we're not even a kicker or a punter. We'll the Denver Broncos. I don't know. I'll just put a W next to the Broncos because it's just what it is. That's just how it's been the 3-4 years. Just tragedy. Can't get it right. And after finishing 5-12, man, they have more problems than answers now. This time last year, we're thinking, man, the Denver Broncos look like they're going to be a Super Bowl contender. They finally got to play. Man, it was so bad. I was asking for Drew Lock for the Denver Broncos again. That was bad. I wonder if Paxton Lynch just I really like, it's like, man, somebody as much crap. Ladies and gentlemen, we're worst off in 22. I mean, the worst. There was nobody worse. Not Indianapolis, Arizona, who had a top wide receiver suspended for 6 games. Not Carolina, not Chicago, not Houston, not Atlanta, not the Raiders. Nobody's offense was so worse than the 2022 Denver Broncos. 30. God forbid they extended the XFL because they probably be 42 out of 42. All right, that's how bad it was for the Denver Broncos. And again, here we go again. The Broncos had a great defense again, 14. Not as great years past, but and yet the offense can't do anything about it. They killed it, man. And I finally figured out his name. Nathaniel Hackett. That's his name. That's the man responsible for the disaster of the 2022 Denver Broncos. You want to know how bad he was, folks? He only coached 15 games. They fired him 15 games into the season. That's Urban Meyer status. That is, you should never touch another field again status. But lo and behold, he wasn't as bad as Urban Meyer. He didn't kick a player. So I guess you're going to give him up in New York to be the offensive coordinator. So that's what it takes. Not to be a bad head coach, not to call, not because you can't read, not because you can't manage clock. Your play calling sucks. The players don't like you. It's because you didn't kick a player on his repaired quad or his leg, whatever. So they fired him. In between that, by the way, they traded Bradley Chubb to the Dolphins for peanuts. Straight peanuts. And now Miami looks like a team that looks like they have hope for heading into next year. If they can fix that offensive line, Miami is in a good spot to compete for the AFC East. I don't give a damn if Aaron Rodgers is going to the Jets. I don't care. All right? I don't care. So, Brandon, in one word, describe the people. Describe to the people the 2022 Broncos season. Go ahead. Tell the folks of America what the 2022 season was all about for the Broncos.
I can describe it in one word. It's like a phrase. Bronco country. Let's ride. Like that is that is like the obvious phrase that like just obviously there with this team some apparent reason. Listen, what you just said was awesome. Wine's like shocked that Nathaniel Hackett lasted 15 games. I told them they should have fired his ass after the Colts game. I was like, yep, they should fire his ass. Like I was calling for this man after week 3 when I saw them play the Houston Texans and they couldn't even move on them. I'm like, God damn, what is going on with you? You suck as a play caller. I was calling for his job way before that. I saw a Sunday night game where they played the 49ers and they scored 11 points. And they won the fucking game. That's how bad that is. They scored 11 fucking points and they scored 11 points and they won the game. That's how bad the season was for Denver. And that was their first win. That's how bad that shit is. Like, that was their first win. It's, oh man, this, listen, Denver suck. Denver sucked this entire year. They were terrible this entire year. But it started from the beginning. Let's be real. They were they had literally trying to get an owner. like they were selling a team. Like, they literally were trying to sell a team in the mix of literally hiring a head coach that me and you both said they hired him just because they wanted Aaron Rodgers. Kind of one of the reasons why I don't think the Jets are going to do shit this year. But like they hired him just to get Aaron Rodgers, and they never got Aaron Rodgers. So they literally just went to the backup plan, and that was Russell Wilson. And it felt and seemed and was clearly that way. It was like, this dude clearly doesn't fit this offense. He doesn't do anything that Aaron Rodgers does, clearly. And he doesn't fit the team. The shit just didn't work. It was a terrible decision. It didn't work. You sold the team. And then what happens when Walmart buys your team? They overpay somebody. And they overpay Russell Wilson. Now you can't move his ass. Now it's a problem. Now it's a real problem. Because if he sucks again this year, nobody's taking Russell Wilson off your fucking hands. I don't want him. I don't want Russell Wilson. You can keep him. I don't want him. And that's kind of the thing. It's just, I don't know. I just feel like Denver, this whole season was doomed. The fact that you let Melvin Gordon walk in free agency and then like, nah, we should sign him back because that makes more sense. This dude that can't even keep the ball in his hands for like the first 3 plays that he catches or carries the ball. It's like, yeah, let's re-sign him. Let's bring him back. Your first 3 receivers on your team literally looked at Russell Wilson and said, what the fuck is he doing? like KJ Hamler was like, I was open in the goddamn end zone. I don't know what the hell Russell was doing, but I was open. When you have a receiver say, I don't know what the hell he was doing. I was open. I was wide open. I don't know what the hell he was doing. When a receiver says that, it's like, damn, what's Colin Sutton even on the football field? I don't even know. Especially we brag and we talk about Allen Robinson and Matthew Stafford. At least we saw him try. I don't even know if Colin Sutton played in all 17 fucking games. I can't even tell you. I don't even know. I don't even know if Colin Sutton even played in all 17 games. Because I damn sure know I did not hear his name at all. I didn't hear his name at all. Like, I don't even know if he played because I never heard his name. Jared Jeudy was the only receiver that was doing something. And then when trade talks came around, they're like, yeah, they're trying to trade Jared Jeudy. What the hell are you doing? Like, it was just a terrible team, god awful. It was doomed from the start. Let's be real. It was doomed from the start. When you hired Nathaniel Hackett and Aaron Rodgers told y'all, yeah, I'm gonna stay in Green Bay for at least a year or 2. And you literally was like, oh shit, we need to go get a quarterback. Russell Wilson's unhappy. Yeah, let's go get him. It's just like, yeah, let's go get him. It was just a terrible, terrible team. But I personally was like, yeah, fire Nathaniel Hackett after the 5th game. I was like, I'm done with this shit. I don't want to see this no more. It's just like, I'm done with this shit.
You know, when we did our division picks, you know, me and you had fourth by the man just had they had so many problems, and I don't even know where to begin. You know, I don't know what the game plan was for Denver. There was no consistency with Denver. There was nothing. There's no nothing. I don't even know how to explain it. Like, for example, this was Russell Wilson's worst year since probably his rookie year, where he threw for only touchdowns, 11 interceptions. Not Devontae Williams, not Melvin Gordon. Tavius Murray led the team in rushing with 703 yards and 5 touchdowns. Jerry Jeudy finally had a great year after being productive. 67 receiving yards, or 67 receptions, 972 yards, and 6 touchdowns. You know what? That's a pretty good year. That's a pretty good year. And this is, I think, where it gets interesting for Denver. Because again, Alex Singleton, longtime Bronco, they just re-signed him. 163 tackles. Okay, the defense is fine. You're not gonna run up against them. You're not. Draymond Jones, who is now, okay, 6.5 sacks. That's great. And Justin Simmons doing Justin Simmons things. 6 interceptions. So again, and to go along with the fact that Patrick Surtain is now establishing himself as being a top corner in this league, I'm not worried about the defense. I'm not. I've been never worried about the defense. Never. Because the defense has always been there for everybody. It's been there for the Denver Broncos for years now. It's just, man, that offense is so bad. That offense is so bad right now. I don't even know, they fired him. It's over. Season's over. They moved on. In comes your former head coach, Sean Payton. Now, the only reason here, this is where it's really messed up. Denver traded Bradley Chubb to the Broncos for their other first rounder that they had. Because remember, it did belong to San Francisco. Trey Lance trade happened. Then it went to Miami. Then Miami called about Bradley Chubb services. The Broncos are in the first round. I'm thinking, okay, perfect for Denver. All you got to do now, maybe just draft an offensive lineman to keep this line going. Just keep it going. What does Sean Payton do as his first? What do the Denver Broncos do? They trade the first rounder to the New Orleans Saints, and now the Saints are back in the first round. And it's not even that they gave up a first rounder. No, they didn't. They gave up more picks. See, the Rams said F them picks, but they were already talented, and they were winning. The Broncos are saying F them picks, and they're digging themselves a hole that they're probably going to get out of for like another 5 years. Some teams literally, but
I have a way of never getting out that situation. I mean, they're not gonna like it, but I have a way.
What's that?
You gotta trade Justin Simmons. You gotta trade Patrick Surtain.
Oh my God.
See, you're not gonna like it.
No.
You're not gonna like it at all. See, that's what I'm saying. Denver's not gonna like it.
No.
They're not gonna like it at all. But still, hey, you want to get out? You want to get some picks, or do you just want to keep the defense intact? Which one you want to do?
And here's the thing. I love how Sean Payton came in his presser, and a lot of stuff happened that we did not even know about. That Russell Wilson had an office near Nathaniel Hackett's office. He had his own crew there. And Sean Payton just said, yeah, we ain't doing that here. And I think, people find it crazy that he put all his wide receivers on the trade block. I don't find it crazy at all. I think what Sean Payton is doing is actually genius. It's actually genius. If you don't have any weapons for Russell Wilson to throw the ball, then he'll never have the ball turned over him. So maybe it's a genius it's both really going to be running committee. I could see Sean Payne having no wide receivers, 4 tight ends, and 6 runners just to have protection. Russell can throw the ball, then goddamn it, we're going to run committee. All right? Everybody go drive.
It's full RPOs. Full RPOs. We can't
Sean
even do the RP. We can't even put the P in the RPO anymore because it has no receivers. It's just a big ass RO.
It is
just a big ass RO.
It's R and O. It's either run or option. Just RO. We're gonna do so. We're gonna do options.
Like Denver's running the whole Navy offense. I'll say it's just running the whole Navy offense. What the fuck is going on?
Like, Navy is taking the whole Navy's playbook. Yeah. Sean Payne probably said, you know what? I don't want to see Russell Wilson throw the ball, so we're going to run the whole Navy Army games offense, man. Just run the ball by submission. We are going to submit the running game into our opponent's hearts. Yeah. The fact that he's wounded on the trading block just tells me, man, he has no faith in anything that's happening right now. Nobody. And I don't know why Sean Payton decided Denver. He could have waited another year for maybe an even more lucrative job. The Chargers, maybe there was a team that was probably like on the up and up. Who knows? Maybe Andy Reid would have retired soon, and it's like, hey, you want to take that? Or who knows? Maybe he would have came back to New Orleans, or maybe he would have went with Washington or something. But you're telling me you're going to put all your eggs in a basket on the Denver Broncos because why again? Because of a great, somewhat defense that is still intact. Yeah, man. Yeah, that's the Broncos for you. I will say this though. I'll give the owner props. At least they don't have a fear of not trying. I'll tell you that. If it fails, it's not for lack of trying. I'll tell you that. But I don't know the game plan. I don't see what the Broncos are trying to build here. I don't. Are you trying to tell us something? Are you saying that, you're going to rely on heavy free agents and maybe a solid draft class because that's all you can do? I don't know. But I will say this. Their free agency so far, not that bad. It's really not that bad. Offensively, they got Pirine from Cincinnati, who that's actually not a bad pickup, honestly. Ben Powers from Cleveland, that's a big need. Mike McGlinchey from San Francisco, awesome. Chris Manhertz, he actually had a pretty decent year last year. And then they got Jarrett Stidham, the backup. Well, he started the Raiders, now he's a Bronco. I'm going to be honest with you. I think if Russell Wilson starts going down, I mean, don't be surprised. Come in and does, don't be now. All right. I mean, let's go 49ers defense on his first go around. So, I mean, we'll see how that goes. But I think the big one, though, was Zach Allen and Alex Singleton. Re-signing Alex Singleton was a big deal for the Broncos, and then getting Zach Allen to replace that Bradley Chubb extra pass rusher, I think that's actually going to help Denver. I guess the loss of Draymond Jones is not much of a sting now. Overall, I would give this free agency class pretty much a low B because I think there's a lot left to be desired there. Maybe another corner, maybe another defensive player. But I mean, for what it's worth, I thought that for sure they had a good free agency haul. Brendan, give me your grade for the Denver Broncos so far.
Okay. I give it a B, like a mid to high B. You fixed a lot offensive line wise, which is very important. That's not like discredit that. That's very important. Like you said, Ben Powers being a really good offensive guard, that's going to do very, very big things for you going forward. Also, Mike McGlinchey coming from the San Francisco 49ers, doing what he does. That's a hell of a pickup, hell of a signing. Samaje Perine, depending on what happens with Javonte Williams particularly, we don't know when he might be 100% to really go. Samaje Perine has pretty much shown you he can be the guy if you need him to be. This is also how you find a backup. You don't go get somebody that just sucks. Sorry, Melvin Gordon, but you suck now. That's just the way it goes. You now have a guy that can help you carry the ball, but more importantly, can catch out the goddamn backfield. Holy shit, they never need that going last year. God damn, did they need that?
They did need that. They did need that. That's true. They did need that.
Damn, did they need that? Holy shit. Well, now you got it. You got a runner and a pass catcher. Congratulations. You got two and one. Congratulations. The receiver situation is still weird. I'm sorry, it's just weird. But the Zach Allen pickup from the Arizona Cardinals, that's a big situation for them. That was a good pickup. I mean, that's a hell of a pass rusher. Had a really good year last year. I feel like they still need a cornerback. There's only so much Patrick Surtain could do. I think they need a cornerback. And that's kind of why I feel like Denver did a good job. It was a really good job.
Yeah.
So it's a high mid B.
Yeah, no, I agree with the whole cornerback situation because they do need help. I mean, don't get me wrong, Justin Simmons and Patrick Surtain, that's a pretty good combo right there. My only concern was, man, they need somebody opposite of Patrick Surtain because he really cannot can't cover everybody. That's sort of apparent, guys. Like that's sort of the key here, guys. Like, no. Like, guys, we need no more help. Look, I think for Denver at this point, there's really no other way to say it. This has to work. They're stuck with Russell Wilson. There's no escaping that. You're stuck with Russell Wilson because you gave him that type of you gave him like an Ezekiel Elliott type of contract where it's so spread, that money is so spread out and that cap hit is so huge that you have to make it work. It's not like you can find a quarterback and be like, all right, well, we're just going to, no, because then you're going to look like the fools paying a guy close to $40 million a year sitting on the bench. Can't, you know, there's nothing.
It's not just the fact that you paid him that money and yes, the Ezekiel Elliott contract. It's also Russ's age. Like Russ is what, 34, 35? Like he's in that age bracket now where it's kind of like
33,
33, 34. Like it's still like for what, the next 4 or 5 years, if he's in a decline, now you're starting to really be like, oh shit, we fucked up. And that's the thing. Like he can be in the beginning of a decline. We you know, it can happen. It can happen. That's why this season is so important because he could be in the beginning of a decline and you have no idea what to do after that.
And let's be real. It's not like Jarrett Stidham can come in and be like, all right, well, we're going to win with you. It's like, yeah, you'll be competitive. I don't know about winning it all because I'm pretty sure you didn't get Russell Wilson just to have Russell Wilson. I'm pretty sure your hopes were Super Bowl contentions. I'm assuming, right? I'm assuming.
You never know nowadays. These teams, you have no idea.
I'm just saying, you know, for me right now, this is kind of where I think it gets interesting, especially when it comes to the whole Sean Payton ordeal, because this is kind of weird. Sean Payton doesn't seem like the type of dude that wants to answer to anybody. Yet he went to a team that said only the head coach has to answer to me. This is the owner saying this. Sean Payton looks like the type of dude that doesn't like to answer to nobody. Not even John Elway. Definitely not. I mean, owner maybe because he writes the check, but I highly doubt that him and John Elway are going to get along. I doubt that. And as a fan myself, I hope John Elway lasts longer than Sean Payton. The day they fire John Elway is going to be the saddest day for me. For me. Okay? For me. Saddest day for me, man. Yeah, it has to get better, though. This has to get better for the Denver Broncos. There's no other option here. There isn't.
It really isn't. It really
And
isn't.
yes, you had to do what you had to do and get these guys in free agency. But at the same time, you better pray that Russell Wilson can pick up that Sean Payton offense just as quick. Because, and I think he will. I think Sean Payton will make it more quarterback friendly than whatever that last dude tried to do. I don't know what the last dude tried to do. It's like, well, Aaron did it like this. It's like, is that all you know? Like, is that all you know?
Yeah, like I said, Nathaniel Hackett literally gave him Aaron Rodgers plays and didn't have Aaron Rodgers. It's like, the fuck are you doing? Like you don't have Aaron Rodgers. That's not Aaron Rodgers. I hope you know that. That's not Aaron Rodgers. And he just did not change the decision. He didn't
It's
play.
almost like
Didn't
you're
change
asking.
it.
It's almost like you're asking him. All right, and then here's the thing too, and not to get it twisted either. Aaron Rodgers or Russell Wilson can't do what Aaron Rodgers did in Green Bay, and Aaron Rodgers can't do what Russell Wilson did in Seattle.
There
He
it
can't
is.
because it's two different players, two different styles. So the fact that you think you could just come in and change a dude's style in one offseason, nah, man. Nah. So now you got to go back to fundamentals. You got to get back into the lab. And I think Sean Payne is the perfect guy for that, to retool a quarterback, retool an offense. My only concern is if, like you said, he is in a decline. If Russell Wilson is in a decline, then the Denver Broncos have more. Then it doesn't matter how much talent you bring in. It's never going to work. It's just never going to work. And you got to hope that somebody takes him off your hands. But not with that contract. You're stuck with him. Not with that contract. So Sean Payne either has to. The key for this year's Denver Broncos team, I'm not asking the offense to be the greatest show on turf. But if you just meet the defense halfway, the Denver Broncos will be more competitive this year than last year.
Yeah.
That's if you can meet them halfway, though.
I'll give him that. I'll give you that.
I'm not talking about Super Bowls making the playoffs. No, I'm just saying a competitive Denver Broncos team. That's all we're asking. That's all we're asking. So I don't know. I think it's going to be interesting. Like I said, I think it's going to be interesting. And who's the team that benefits out of all this? Seattle. They benefit out of all this because the Denver Broncos can have problems for the next 2-3 years, and they still get their picks. So who benefits more out of this? The Seattle Seahawks, which brings us to that point. So like I said, we talked about the Denver Broncos, but the Seattle Seahawks will be making the selection. Just like tomorrow's show, we will be talking about the Los Angeles Rams, but we will be making the selection for the Detroit Lions. How weird is that, right? The Lions are ripping off the tragedy of the Los Angeles Rams. Go figure. Go figure. But all right, Brandon, it's that time, man. So now let's just recap from everything. My friend Brandon here has gone Anthony Richardson, CJ Stroud. Then you went Will Anderson. And yesterday you Will Levis. Yeah, that was your first four. My first four was CJ Stroud, Bryce Young, Will Anderson, and Anthony Richardson. So here we go, Brandon. With the fifth pick in the draft, who do the Seattle Seahawks take?
Here we go. With the fifth pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Seattle Seahawks will select Tyree Wilson, defensive end, Texas Tech.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Listen, Seattle did a lot of good things last year. They hit on the draft. That is shit don't happen. They hit on the draft. Lord, did they hit on that draft. They found They
And we'll
found
talk
2
about that.
offensive tackles. They found 2
And
cornerbacks. They
Yep.
found a running back. Like, they found a lot of shit in that draft last year. One thing they did not find is a pass rusher, and that is the fucking problem. They need one now. Like, they need one immediately. And I feel like the second best pass rusher is Tyree Wilson from Texas Tech. Listen, I think he has to fit here. I think he has to go here. I know people are going to say, why not get a defensive tackle and put him in that situation? Listen, Seattle needs pass rush. You're going up against Matthew Stafford, whoever the fuck San Francisco is going to roll out there as a quarterback, whoever that is.
You know, you could guess, and you'll probably be right. That's how messed up it is.
and you're going up against Kyler Murray. You're going to need something to stop that. And last year in the playoffs, when they played San Francisco, they were doing everything right in the first half. They was kind of stopping San Francisco.
They were killing it. Yeah. No, they were doing great.
They were doing everything right. And then the pass rush didn't show the fuck up. Like, it's just San Francisco started running, and then out of nowhere, they started throwing the ball. Brock Purdy looked like not a rookie on Seattle in the playoffs. It just fell apart. I think, yes, I can easily go with a quarterback. I can easily put Bryce Young here, but I just feel like you don't sign Geno Smith for 3 fucking years and then say, we're going to drive a quarterback with the 5th overall pick. That shit sounds so ass backwards. I'm sorry. It just sounds so ass backwards. Like, why would you do that? Like, it's just like, other than if it's like the next 2 years are just complete options. But just this year is like guaranteed. Like, other than that, but you signed him for 3 years. So clearly you think he's going to be a part of your team for at least another year. And then maybe you drive a quarterback and then you see what happens. But yeah, I just don't see how they drive a quarterback here. I think they go defense. Just keep the strength that you are starting to build because you got your cornerbacks. You might need a safety. I mean, you could probably get a safety. That wouldn't
not a 5.
Not at 5. I mean, not at 5, but you could get one. I mean, maybe long. I mean, you got another pick coming up later on. I mean, you got another pick. But yeah, Tyree Wilson, I think, fits this team. And you start now building that defensive line a little bit more with construction, with more consistency. And I think he fits that team, man. I think you need a pass rush.
Wow. Okay, everything that you said, you are not wrong, sir. You are not wrong.
They need a pass rush. God almighty, do they need a pass rush.
You are not wrong, sir. You are 100% right. Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing about the NFL. What do I always say about the NFL? It's hard to don't make it harder for yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Brandon, remind me again, what's the strongest what's the strongest position in this whole draft class? Like top to bottom. Yes, the cornerbacks, it's a good one. Tight ends, pretty strong class.
Pretty strong.
What's the one thing I keep hearing? What's the one thing I keep hearing about this draft class? There is a lot of what in this draft class?
Receivers?
Pass rushers.
That's you. Yeah.
There's a lot of pass rushers in this league, in this draft class. Now, are some better than others? 100%. That's how it's always going to be. Here's the thing about an opportunity that the Seattle Seahawks have right freaking now, though. Right freaking now. And I cannot believe Bryce Young is still on the freaking board, man. Freaking A, man. Anyway, look. Seattle has a golden opportunity. You got pick number 5. Who's to say that Broncos kill it next year and now you're out of a top pick? Because I know Seattle's not going backwards. I know that. They're not going backwards. All right?
We shall see.
I doubt they go backwards. If they go backwards, then this was a fail. So, in an opportunity like this, when you have a pick number 5, yes, you re-sign Geno Smith to a 3-year contract. But we're really going to rely on the future of Geno Smith. His first good season in the NFL. And no disrespect to him. No disrespect to him. All right?
This sounds like so much disrespect coming.
No disrespect.
but the dude's a total 5 bum. He can't play.
No,
He sucks.
no. I am not doing a Stephen A. rant. I am not doing a Stephen A. rant.
Like Stephen Smith, like Stephen A. Smith. No disrespect whatsoever. The man's a bona fide scrub. He can't
Like, no, nothing like that. Nothing like, look, Geno Smith in New York with the New York Jets, a disaster. All right. He becomes a backup for how many years? And he learns, and he learns, and he learns. He learns how to be a team player. He learns how to play in the NFL. Then he finally gets a shot in Seattle again, and it worked out. Why did it work out for him? Because he learned. He learned, and he waited for the right opportunity, and he found it. He finally went to a franchise that he found it. But we're talking about Geno freaking Smith here. We're talking about Geno freaking Smith. All right? It took him almost 10 years to figure this out. 10 years. And now you're willing to risk a really great draft class for this guy, right? Okay. Yeah. When you get a top 5 pick.
Wait. No disrespect, but you about to risk this shit for Geno Smith?
You about to risk this? You're about to risk this great draft class you had for Geno freaking Smith. All right? Geno Smith. All right, look. An opportunity like this only happens once in a while. All right? Only once in a while. The Seattle Seahawks need to figure out what their future is going to be in Seattle. So, that's why with my pick at number 5, I have selected Will Levis, the quarterback out of Kentucky. Listen, man. Will Levis falls into the perfect situation that we talked about yesterday. He doesn't have to play. All he has to do is learn. All he has to do is sit and learn. He gets a red shirt year, which he doesn't desperately need it, but it would benefit him to learn. It would benefit him to learn. Everything that I said about Anthony Richardson yesterday, everything you said about Anthony Richardson, I think Will Levis would be the perfect fit for Seattle right now, especially knowing the fact that the Denver Broncos win more games next year. You might not get a chance to draft your guy. That means you're going to have to give up the picks to give up your guy instead of building for your future. Why not just take your guy right now, make him sit and be like, hey, look, man, you're coming into Seattle. You're not going to start right away. Geno Smith has the keys until further notice. Now, once his play slips, could be this year, could be next year, could be at the end of his contract. I don't know.
Could be 3 games into the season.
You don't know. We're talking about Geno freaking Smith here, okay? My thing with this, if you're the Seattle Seahawks, you take your future now, because then you're going to look back and you'll be like, man, I wish I would have taken one of these quarterbacks. Now I got a pass rusher that I don't even know if I can want to pay him because I'm more worried about my future guy. You take your quarterback here and you just let him learn. You let him learn. And he's going to learn because he's a smart kid. Everything we said about Anthony Richardson with the explosive arm, the cannon, mobility, guess what? Will Levis is that too. He's not as athletic, but he's mobile. He's got a strong arm too. The only reason his play fell was because, one, Kentucky's offensive line sucked. All right? It sucked so bad. And two, the wide receiver course he had last year were nothing compared to the one he had his junior year. Nothing. They were nothing compared to it. Why not take the quarterback right now, build him for your future, and keep using those Denver Bronco picks to keep improving your team. Keep improving your team. Keep improving your team on cheap deals. And that way, when San Francisco gets older, you're younger, you're the one with the most talent, and you could dominate the NFC West for a little while. But hey, what do I know? I'm just a guy that's seen too many people given so many opportunities, and they squander it away. But I'm just saying, it'd be funny if next year we'll be like, man, Seattle has to look for their next guy. Well, you could have had your guy at pick number 5, but you didn't want to take the chance. But anyway, that's just me. Will Levis, pick number 5, quarterback, University of Kentucky.
Well, he's already off my board, and that's kind of why he's off my board. It's just because yeah, I mean, his injury, he got injured also a lot last year. He got banged up because that offensive line sucked. So, listen, I think he would fit perfectly in Seattle with Geno Smith being the guy for right now. My problem with Seattle picking a quarterback is like, you don't sign Geno Smith for 3 damn years and then say, listen, Pete Carroll did this once. This shit don't happen twice. Where you sign a guy for 3 fucking years and say, oh, no, the rookie's better. That shit don't happen twice. I'm sorry.
But it's not going to happen
twice.
But see, you're talking about Matt Flynn and Geno Smith. The difference is that
What's
Geno
the difference?
Smith. The difference is Geno Smith.
What is the difference?
The difference is Geno Smith can actually play in the NFL. Matt Flynn did not deserve to play in the NFL. That's the difference.
Matt Flynn learned from under Aaron Rodgers, and they drafted Russell Wilson that year that they signed him to a 3-year deal, and the media was like, yeah, we fucked up. Like, we fucked up. Like, it's just like, let's give it to Russ. Like, he's the guy now. I feel like if you do that, a team don't get away with that 2 times in a row. I'm sorry. It just, something's off with that. I feel like there's no way in him.
I'm not asking Seattle to get away from this 2 times in a row. I'm just asking, take your guy now. So when the guy you have right now, his contract's expired and it's over, you'll have your answers by then. Because why do you want to risk? Why do you have an opportunity right now? Yes. Is Tyree Wilson an exceptional pass rusher? Yeah. Have you seen the man walk? He has to duck every freaking door. All right. That is a tall man. Very tall man. My problem with this is that not a lot of teams give you an opportunity to choose in the top 5, especially with someone else's pick.
Yeah, I agree.
And here's the thing: you want Tyree Wilson, so you're telling me you're willing to pass up Jalen Carter? You're willing to pass up Miles Murphy? You're willing to pass up Brian Brees? You're willing to pass up Isaiah Foskey? You're willing to pass up BJ Ojolari? You're willing to pass up Jervon Dexter for the boom or bust of the defensive pass rushers?
Well, there's a lot of boom or bust situations here. It's like, and I feel like this. Listen, Will Levis is a boom or bust if you actually think about it. He's a boom or bust. You don't really know what you're getting from this kid. You don't know. You might get this kid and he might shit the bed immediately. Listen, but
that's the point. Like, he doesn't have to start right away. He can just learn.
But as you just said, is Geno freaking Smith. We don't know what year he might have this fucking year. We don't know. We're just hoping he might be the same guy he was last year. He might revert back. He might have a Jets moment and think a teammate's about to punch him in the face and just revert back to that guy. I don't fucking know. Like, I have no idea.
I can imagine when Geno Smith threw his first touchdown and Tyler Lockett was like, Geno, he's like, and dives under the bench.
I know, but I don't know. I don't know what Geno Smith is.
But that's the thing. So you want to go into the season with, okay, well, we got the exceptional pass rusher, but man, our quarterback sucks now.
I think do
you want a backup plan?
Here's the thing. I do think they need to drive a quarterback. Don't get it twisted. I do think they need to drive a quarterback. Just not in the first fucking pick. The first pick, you're like, yeah, Geno, listen, man, we signed you to 3 years. We're going to draft this rookie, though, because we don't know what the fuck you might be in 2 years. Like, it's just like, that's like, goddamn, why would you sign me for 3 years and you just like, yeah, we're going to still go with the future? It's like, why? Yeah, I don't know. It's so weird. So weird.
Ugh.
I still think
Well,
don't
there
get
it
it
is,
twisted.
man. We're one.
Don't get it twisted. I still think Seattle needs a quarterback. Don't get it twisted. I still think Seattle needs a quarterback. Maybe second round. The Tennessee quarterback is going to be there somewhere. You're going to have people that's going to be there quarterback wise. I mean, you're going to have some quarterbacks later on in that draft that you can be like, yeah, I'll probably take a chance on him. But why Will Levy right there? If he's there, keyword, if he's there. But I don't know. Will Levy's being the single next pick off the board just because what reason? And then also, again, I'm assuming nobody's going to take him, especially if he slides past Seattle. Nobody's probably going to take him. So you can get him at 18. But the first pick you pick in the first round is the quarterback. Is like, I don't know about that.
It's just a lot. I just like, fine, you can get your situational pass rusher, but then you look back and you're gonna be like, oh great, Gino's back. You know, I don't know. I think it's just because I think it's just better to have a backup plan now than suffering. Because Seattle can't take, like, let's not get it twisted either. If Seattle plays like Seattle played the first half last year, Seattle can actually compete with the 49ers, folks. But everything has to go right. And that's where I don't know. I just, don't get me wrong. I think with a Draymond Jones, a Tyree Wilson, you got your two corners, you got your two safeties, you got your linebackers in place. Yeah, that defense will look great. But then you hope that offense can hold in. And I don't know if that's something you want to do. I don't know if that's something you want to like gamble on when you could just have a backup plan at 5.
Yeah,
It's hard to imagine that reality, but at the same time, it's really not. Like, a lot can happen at that point.
Keyword. Yeah. I mean,
so,
here's the thing. Again,
I don't think there's no wrong answers here. It's
there
just,
it is. There is a wrong answer at all. I think if they pick Will Levis, then that's a perfect situation because now you have your future. If you go defensive end, then you have your defensive end and you help your defense even more with what they created last year. So it's just depends on what they like.
Yeah, and like I said, that's going to be interesting. It's 5, believe it or not. 1 for 5. So let's just recap here. Brandon has gone Anthony Richardson, CJ Stroud, Will Anderson. Who was your number 4 last night? Will Levis. Yep. And now Tyree Wilson. Yep. There's your 5. There's Brandon's 5.
And I'm proud of it.
I have gone CJ Stroud, Bryce Young, Will Anderson, Anthony Richardson, and Will Levis.
So safe.
I have gone so safe. I have gone so safe.
God, so safe. Oh my God. It's just a panic room.
Safe.
Just a panic room. Just so safe. What's going
my God. Come on. It's not being safe. It's called being smart about this. It's being smart. Like, no, just blow the water. Let's do this. Just blow the water. Let's do this.
It's a bunch of comfortability. Good. Or 401k. Just a lot of 401k.
Oh no, stability. Stability in future. Oh no. Oh no. I know, man. I know. Well, that's our picks. You guys let us know in the comments. Who do you guys like more? What would make more sense for Seattle? A quarterback for the future or Tyree Wilson or other? You let us know. But Brandon, thank you again for tuning, my man. We will be back tomorrow. So same situation as today. It is pick number 6. We will be talking about the Los Angeles Rams, but it would be the Detroit Lions pick. So we're going to be making the picks for Detroit. And man, I expect this one to be a very short episode because the Rams right now, they're just, man.
It's Aaron Donald, Cooper Kupp, and that's it.
like, like, where did everybody go from the Super Bowl? Like Super Bowl team a couple years ago. Oh well, the funny story. You might want to sit down. So he gone. He gone. He gone. He gone. He gone. He definitely gone.
I guess it
He
ain't that funny. I guess it ain't that funny. It's just a revolting door. It's just like, yeah, he got too expensive. It's just like, yeah.
Like, he next, he next, he next, he next, and he next. Okay, so who's next? Like the barbershop from like Coming to America. You're cut, you're cut, you're traded, you're traded, you're cut, you're cut, you're cut. Who's next? Who's next?
Who next?
Who's next? With a smile on his face too. Who's next? Like, come on, man. Like, yeah, we're gonna be talking about the Rams tomorrow, but we're gonna make the pick for the Lions. And listen, man, I love what the Lions are doing, man. I love what they're doing. And you better not. You better not, man. Oh, I'm going to be so hurt. I'm going to be so hurt.
Whatever do you mean? What are you talking about?
Oh, dude, no. Don't even dare. Because,
What are you talking about?
I know who's still on your board. Better not. Nah. Oh, my God. But, yeah, we're going to talk about it tomorrow. Yeah, we'll talk about it tomorrow, man. In my world, it has to make sense, right? It has to make sense for both sides. In Brandon's world, I don't know. Is he being a hypocrite and playing it too safe and looking into the future of 401ks of quarterbacks? I don't know. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes tomorrow. But like I said, we'll be talking about the Rams tomorrow, the season they had, from Super Bowl champions to whatever this was. I don't even know what this was, man. I can't even. Yeah, I don't.
It was a Hollywood movie that went completely horror.
Yeah, I mean, this was Sean McVay's worst season as a head coach, and I don't know if he's ready for the next chapter, because it's all fine and dandy when you're winning and you have no draft picks and you have no cap capital, but when you're losing and you have no draft picks and no cap room, man, it's hard. It's hard out there.
Wait a minute. Are you telling me Sean McVay actually was a part of the NFL for the first time? Holy shit!
He was. Yep, he was part of the NFL for the first time.
He actually had to coach the NFL. Holy shit! Yep. That's so weird.
Yeah, he didn't have Cooper Kupp, Odell Beckham Jr., all those tight ends. He didn't have that running back game. The offensive line. He actually had to coach last year. And Aaron Donald didn't play. He got hurt, and it's like, oh yeah, you need to, yeah. At this point, if I'm Aaron Donald, I go into the locker room like, so you saw how your defense was without me, right? I need a restructure on my contract. I know you just gave me one, but I need all the money. I need you to end up with only having $1 in your cap space. That's what I need you to do. That's how much I'm worth to you guys. I need you to do that. If you could just do that for me, that'll be great. And they probably would too, just because they know he ain't lying. Like he ain't lying.
Like, we can't trade him.
Like, he's the best player on the team. He ain't lying. So I don't know.
We can't trade him. He's the best player on the fucking team. We can't do that. That's stupid.
Yeah. Yeah. So, like I said, tomorrow we'll talk about the Lions, and I think it's going to be interesting to see how this works. So it's just a lot right now.
Should I do it? I think I should.
Well, I know what they're gonna do. You're just going off. I'm using logic. You're just going for chaos. That's what you're going for, man. I'm using logic.
Like chaos.
You're just going for chaos right now, which is totally mean. You're like, chaos. Man, you're just hitting the red button out of everybody, man. Like, man, I'm going over here like logical, like, all right, let's make the most logical team to move forward. Nah, we're doing this. Like, oh, come on, man. Don't do this. Don't do this to Detroit, man. Don't give these Lion fans hope. Don't give my friends hope that they have a chance. Don't do that. Like, I'm not saying that their team is bad, but don't give them the hope that, hey, Your savior is right there waiting for you.
Lions
Don't
pride,
do that
baby.
to them.
Lions pride, baby.
Oh my God, you're gonna make a lot of enemies if you do this. Oh boy, you're gonna make a lot of enemies if you do this. But all right, tune in tomorrow to see what Brandon decides. Because obviously I think we're going 1-for-6 here. I think we're going 1-for-6 here. So far, all we've done is Arizona, and that seems so long ago. We're going
It really does.
1-for-6.
It really does.
Episode 6 tomorrow, guys. So, Brandon, as always, thank you for joining. Everybody that's going to watch this video later, thank you so much for tuning in. Also, if you want to catch us live, make sure you hit the little bell right there that says subscribe next to the subscribe button, so that way you know when we're going live. And tomorrow, like I said, we'll talk about the Los Angeles Rams. We'll make the line selection, and then we'll be moving on from there. Until then, everybody have a wonderful night. Peace.